Hi everyone, welcome back to Wrestling Fun with Father and Son. I'm Father Matt, and this is Son. That was a bit quick, that was. And this is our week. That was WWE. This is Smackdown. So this is Smackdown. Not as explosive as Raw, but still, it wasn't too bad. Smackdown this week. Smackdown started with a recap of Raw and that little incident with Bobby Lashley and Strowman, and they also give us a little bit of an update. They said that Bobby Lashley was okay, but Braun Strowman had possible multiple fractures and a possible ruptured spleen. So I'm guessing that Braun Strowman is actually injured, and they've kind of writ that into the storyline there. The main show of SmackDown started off with the Kevin Owens show. No Sami Zayn. I've got to mention that. It sort of felt to me that Kevin Owens was more of a face during this instead of that heel. His guests on that show were Drew McIntyre and Shane. They were doing a bit of promo. They've recapped what happened on Raw with The Undertaker. They've now mentioned that that match now is a no holds barred card. So Undertaker Roman Reigns versus Drew and Shane is a no holds barred match now. And then also Kevin Owens show the video where it was shown that Drew McIntyre and Shane sort of, as The Undertaker came out, they sort of vacated to the crowd, sort of hinting that they were a bit scared of The Undertaker. That sort of then, at the end of that sort of promo, that brought out Dolph Ziggler. Kevin Owens sort of said to Dolph Ziggler that, you know, oh, it's the same old promo, you know, get over it, you know, it should have been you, and all this, that and the other, you know, who got the shot, you know, and who should have been the champion. And he said that was basically, it was him, but several years ago. At the end of this sort of sequence, it was then made official that Shane McMahon made Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler a tag team to face Heavy Machinery at the end of the night, and that the Daniel Bryan Rowan versus the New Day for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships is going to be a triple threat match, with the winner of that match later on being put into that triple threat match. Next it was Big E versus Daniel Bryan. Obviously, like I say, they're in that tag team championship match, Extreme Rules. The end of that match was that Rowan interfered in that match. He took out Big E and Xavier while the referee was distracted. Big E got back in the ring. Daniel Bryan did the running knee and got the win that way. That was basically it. Next, there was a little bit of confusion, but I think it's going to feed into something later on. It was an R-Truth interview where he's saying about Drake Maverick, or as he calls him, Hornswoggle, is on his honeymoon, and that, you know, it's going to be a party of 3. So that's hinting that he's going to gate crash their honeymoon and get that title back. But we didn't see that during the night. He did actually say that the honeymoon was there, actually in San Antonio, I think that's where they were. And he said that they were having their honeymoon there. So they didn't follow that up, or not that I saw anyway, but that might be over the weekend, or we might see it on Twitter appear. Next, it was Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. She basically said to Nikki, I want you to present Moment of Bliss. So that was the next bit. There was a Moment of Bliss with Nikki Cross, with Bayley as the guest. Bayley again reiterated what everyone else is saying, that she can't trust Alexa Bliss, and why isn't it her in that that match at Extreme Rules against Bayley and that. And then Nikki Cross basically said, well, why don't we have a match now? And that's what they did. They had a match, Bayley versus Nikki. Not much to the match, to be fair. Bayley won with the Bayley the Belly. Saying no Alexa Bliss at ringside, she didn't come out to help a friend or anything like that, so they didn't really sort of further that storyline on. Next, it was Kofi with a face-to-face with Samoa Joe, and they had a bit of a promo. This was quite good. I think Samoa Joe is quite good on the microphone. I think he's very good at promos. The ending of this sequence was that Samoa Joe asked for a handshake from Kofi Kingston. And if he'd give him a handshake, he would secure Kofi's family, friends, and everyone their safety up until Extreme Rules. Kofi did not do the handshake. Instead, he gave him what?
A drop in paradise.
Well, he didn't. No, he didn't. He gave him a finger gesture. He gave him a finger gesture. He gave him, as the Americans say, the bird. He flipped the bird, and then he gave him a trouble in paradise after that. Laid him out in the middle of the ring and held the title up. So yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting match. So we've just got to wait and see what happens. Next, it was Apollo Crews and Andrade. When Apollo Crews was walking to the ring, there was Abby the Witch in the background. Yes, Abby Witch was on the show. obviously they've been having this feud over the last couple of weeks. Not much to the match. Apollo Crews went and lost. Andrade got the win because Selena Vega actually interfered in the match and cost him it. Next, it was a backstage sequence with Ziggler and Owens, basically saying about how they should work together so they can get the belts. Then they had what we're calling the Black in the Back section. Yep, like I say, saying about that knock on the door last week. He went to the door, there was no one there. So basically he called them out at Extreme Rules, and we're going to find out Extreme Rules who that was. And then we had Ember Moon versus Mandy Rose. Obviously last week it was Sonya Deville, this week it's Mandy Rose. Ember Moon got the win with the Eclipse, not much to it. And then we get to the main event. Like I said about Raw was, you could tell there were traits of Heyman in Raw. I don't know if you could tell if there were traits of Bischoff in this Smackdown. I have read and heard that Bischoff isn't really going to take over until after Extreme Rules, so we'll have to see. But I didn't feel this was kind of that much different. Like, I felt Raw was different this week. I didn't feel that Smackdown was different. But that being said, I think the wild card this week has been very relaxed and they haven't really abused it. But anyway, the main event, it was Owens and Ziggler versus Heavy Machinery, and the winner of that match would be put into the Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus the New Day for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships at Extreme Rules. That's a bit of a mouthful, but there it is. They had the New Day and Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan in commentary. The New Day had their own sort of commentary desk with loads of pancakes on it. It didn't take long for that to break down. They sort of got into a bit of a brawl. The table got broken and all that. For them to stop the match with Heavy Machinery and Owens and Ziggler, and then they restarted that match after the other Daniel Bryan and Rowan and the New Day had been ejected. The sort of ending of this match was basically miscommunication with Ziggler and Owens and Heavy Machinery. I think they used it, is it called the Compactor, I think it's called, that their double team move to get the win, so they're now going to Extreme Rules in that match. So yeah, not a lot to happen on SmackDown, to be honest. It was a good show, but I don't think it was as good as what Raw was this week. And like I said, I don't know if Bischoff had any say in that or not. We'll have to see what happens after Extreme Rules, if it gets different or not. So, let's say, next week, Extreme Rule predictions. I think we're going to do that over the weekend and have that out for Monday. And I think if there are any changes to matches or matches added, I think we'll basically put the predictions into the week that was WWE. So we've been caught out before like that, haven't we, with predictions where they change matches and added matches right late in the day. But I think we'll do that over the weekend. We'll get that predictions video out Monday. And like I say, if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video. And I will quickly say, this week's unboxing is a good one. It is an ultimate unboxing. A little bit of a clue there. So yeah, so I'll say goodbye. And say goodbye, Kai.
Bye.
Goodbye.